A few words about I Want It Now. Kingsley Amis. Kingsley Amis has been named the best writer of comedies in the second part of the last century. In the first, you have a few others. Evelyn Waugh comes to mind as the principal figure, but about Waugh, some very negative details from his personal life. I'm reading in the memoirs of Kingsley Amis. A note will come soon from memoirs of Kingsley Amis, in which Termina, character, human being really, because in memoirs that not characters but real people. So a woman who had known war has a very little shit, maybe not shit, but some demeaning word anyway. As knowing war in personal life, she was very disgusted with his attitude towards rich and powerful. Oh, you must know your friends admire for what you did to this room. That ceiling is wonderful, and and so that wall, yes, and so praise and deference for the religion. And the woman in particular had been a lady. And while she had been a lady, she says she had all the attention and respect from war. And once she lost that title, she became non-existent, ignored completely. So maybe there is, maybe not, about war, who is not the subject of this note, but that's the way that they work here, or they don't, actually. There are some short videos on the internet, and we were told when an interview was made with the BBC that it was difficult. It was very suspicious and uneasy, and so maybe it was. But we must read intellectuals, Paul Johnson, and find about the greats, magisters, masters of the game. Tolstoy, Hemingway, Ibsen, Jean-Jacques Rousseau in particular. The latter left his children at the door of the orphanage at the time when 9 out of 10 died in orphanages. So people who wrote great works, but as people, as human beings, I understand left much to be desired. But it's I was also thinking with the memoirs, it's not good to read sometimes about, to see the other side. Let the work please you and not have this diminished. But in fact, even Kingsley says about somebody, who is it? Somebody he didn't want to meet and have the pleasure of reading the work diminished by the meeting. I must look into my notes. There are some who gain from the presence. Anthony Powell, Tony, good friend of Kingsley. He comes across as a wonderful human so far. So I have all the reason to read again A Dance to the Music of Time, one of the best works I know. 12 volumes, but it's such a pleasure. You don't wish to have it come to an end, but to prolong. And as in this case, I want to read this again. So I like it here. It refers to the fact that the hero doesn't want to leave England. He has to, in a way, and the experience in Portugal is mostly a positive one. There's some trouble there, but it is mostly a good experience. Kingsley writes also in his memoirs about his experiences in America, which he enjoyed, but there were some issues, but that happens everywhere. And so we have it here. Portugal, which I have seen on a trip to Lisbon when I was doing a part-time job. That's how they paid it, and that's how it was, because they wanted to avoid paying all kinds of tax, having any responsibility. Just like Uber and others want contractors, want independent people. They don't want to add to their costs anything if possible. Insurance, you just get $2 an hour if possible. That's all. I think that's what AT&T paid for the number of hours they wanted. $250 a month to begin with, and they wanted me to have my office, my clothes, my everything. So anyway, exploiting multinational pension, nothing. There it is. But the advantage of going to some of those places in the 90s